What up, and welcome back to another Malazan Book of the Fallen video. This time I just wanted to do a quick Malazan update video because there's lots of news happening out there about books and progress, and so I figured I would get it all out there for those of you who aren't on Facebook or don't nerd out on every corner of the internets for Steven Erikson updates. So let's get into it. First couple updates I already touched on, and so I'll link to that video up there, wherever it goes, that I did before, is the Witness Trilogy, right? And so the first book of the Karsa Orlong Trilogy, also called the Witness Trilogy, The God is Not Willing, I think is the name of the very first book, is already done. It's already been sent to the publishers. In fact, you can already pre-order it on Amazon. I put a link to that down below, and that will be actually coming out in 2021. Karsa is one of those fan favorite characters that everybody is looking forward to learning more about, including myself. I'm super pumped for this trilogy. And the cool part is actually that they've already released the prologue up on Steven Erikson's website. So if you look down in the description of this video, I'll link you over and you can even consume that first kind of few pages of The God is Not Willing before it even comes out next year. So that's one I'm really looking forward to timeline wise. That comes out after the end of the main book series. So this is our first follow-up or, series or trilogy or whatever set after the main series for the most part. So we have a lot of different prequel books and novellas that either take place before or during the main series, but this is the first one that's going to take us out beyond the end of the main set. The current release date on Amazon says November 9th, 2021. So at the time of this recording, we're looking at about 14 months out for that first book in the Karsa Orlong trilogy. Yother. Can I get a witness? The good news, though, is that we don't have long to wait for the next entry in the Malazan world, though, because coming up on November 17th, 2020, which is just 2 months away, actually a little bit more than 2 months away, but a little bit less than 3 months away, is the Jhistal, which is going to be a new entry in the Path to Ascendancy books by Ian Esselmont. And so this is going to take place after the end of Kellanved's Reach, and it's going to be about the kind of order of Jhistal priests who are basically priests that deal in blood sacrifice and existed back in the times before the Malazan Empire, and then they were kind of outlawed, and so this will happen basically before the beginning of the main books, but after kind of the foundations of the empire that we see in the first 3 books of the Path to Ascendancy. So I'm super excited. I absolutely love the Path to Ascendancy books. They really build out that backstory of the Malazan world. We see kind of the origin story for some of our key characters that we see later on in the main books that have essentially already elevated to kind of legendary status. And so it's really fun. They're fast paced. They're not as chunky and philosophical and ponderous as the main series. So they read a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot more fast paced. And I really enjoyed them. Plus, I'm just a sucker for backstory. And so on the one hand, I'm scared about what that might portend for some of the characters. And again, go read or watch that old video that I did somewhere up there, and I'll get into all of that stuff. But yeah, really looking forward to that. And again, that one comes out on November 17th, 2020. So only a few more months to go on that one.
I am really close on this one. Really, really close.
The next update, which I didn't have in that original video from a few months ago, is the new Bauchelain and Korbal Broach. So everybody's favorite necromancers are coming back with a new novella. And that one, I don't know when it's going to be published, but you can actually almost read the whole thing right now. Every single day, Erikson posts a handwritten page. He writes 1 page per day, and I think he's already on page like 93, 94. So again, I'll post a link down below, but you can already go go and read the new Bauchelain and Korbal Broach, just make sure that you buy the book too, so that he makes the money off of it when the time comes, so that we give him that motivation to keep writing and feeding this hungry beast, because we're constantly thirsting for more Malazan content. And so if we give him that monetary reward, then hopefully he'll keep cranking for us. But that one I've already read. It's super awesome, and actually his like comedic notes, if you like the lighter side, it is about necromancy, and so they're getting into some pretty gnarly stuff, but it's handled in a lighthearted and fun way. Highly recommend checking those out.
Just do it!
Okay, and then last but not least is the one that I am absolutely hands down most excited for, and that is the fact that work has resumed on Walk in Shadow. So we know that they didn't get the first two books of the Kharkanas Trilogy, which are about the founding of the Tist and all of the Tist, actually, that we see in kind of their whole origin story. Didn't do well commercially. They're very philosophical, I would say, and kind of ponderous, but I really love them for that reason. I'm a sucker for that stuff, but they went on hold because they didn't sell well, right? And so that's why he shifted gears towards the Karsa Orlong trilogy. But we heard on the 10 Very Big Books podcast, which if you guys aren't subscribed to that, I'll link it below. You definitely should be, and I have a fun project coming up with them later this year. But he actually announced, so we knew he was going to start working on it, but actually he announced on his webpage that he did start it, and I'll link to that Facebook down in the comments below. But you can actually go out there and read the prologue for Walk in Shadow already, and I read it, and it was the bomb, and it got the vibes going for me. I'm so excited, and actually I think he's already like 23 or 24 pages in as of his last update a few weeks ago, and so it looks like we're going to get the conclusion to Kharkanas too. And so just thinking through the timeline, the next couple years are going to be rich for Malazan fans out there, because we have the Jhistal dropping this year in a couple of months. We have the God is Not Willing dropping in just over a year from now in 2021. I'm guessing the Bauchelain and Korbal Broach, since that's almost done and we're still in 2020 right now, we might even get that in 2021 as well, if not 2022. And just with the speed and pace, I'm hopeful that 2022 is also the year of Walk in Shadow. So hopefully we'll have 3 years with 3 new entries, or 4 every single year for the next couple of years. And so it's just a great time to be a Malazan fan. And I hope you're a new Malazan fan getting into the books, because you have time now to finish the main 10, and then we'll journey through all this new stuff together come the new year. So we'll leave this video there. Hopefully you like this update and are just curious about what's happening in the Malazan world as I am. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Either way, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications, so that when we get into the actual meat of the Malazan world, you won't miss a video. And we'll leave it there. Until next time, happy reading.